Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Diving with Divine Diamond YouTube edition. Today we're going to be talking about, I think I'm going to make this a part two to my breakup for breakthrough episode that I did. That one was just audio. If you guys go check that one out and then come back to this one because I think that's what this one's going to be about. This one's going to be about, I'm looking at my notes. Going to be about Genesis 19:26 when Lot's wife looked back and the angels told her not to look back, but she did anyway. But I'm going to read a little bit of the story before I get to that and get to my point of how it relates to us. Bear with me, guys. Sometimes I be nervous. Sometimes I'm just, bear with me. Okay, so Genesis 19. And forgive me if I mispronounce some of the words. The Bible has all these words where half the time, they don't know what they are. So Genesis chapter 19. The two angels, actually, no, I'm going to start on chapter 19, verse 12. And the two men I'm talking about right now is the angels. The two men said to Lot, "Do you have any other relatives in this city? Do you have any sons-in-laws, sons, daughters, or any other relatives? If you do, tell them to leave now, because we are about to destroy this city. The Lord has heard all of the evil that is here, so he has sent us to destroy it." So Lot went out and said to his future sons-in-law, who were pledged to marry his daughters, "Hurry and leave this city. The Lord is about to destroy it." No, Zay. But they thought Lot was joking. No, you can't mess with candles. That's fire, that's hot. At dawn the next morning, the angels begged Lot to hurry. They said, "Go, take your wife and your two daughters with you, so you will not be destroyed when the city is punished." But Lot delayed. So the two men took the hands of Lot, his wife, his two daughters, and led them safely out of the city. So the Lord was merciful to Lot and his family. Zayden, you don't have no shirt on, Zayden. You don't have no shirt on. Hi. 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 What's your name? Zay. Zay? That's your name? Okay. Let mommy do this video, okay? Do this video right quick. Where was I? Let mommy do this video. You Zay Zay? You gotta go put a shirt on, Zay. You gotta go put a shirt. Hi. Hi, yeah. Well, okay. Let me do this. I was gonna wait till you're asleep, but okay. Okay, here. Go tell Aunt Brielle to give you some toothpaste so you can brush your teeth. Okay. So the Lord was merciful to Lot and his family. After they brought them out of the city, one of the men said, "Run for your lives. Don't look back or stop anywhere in the valley. Run to the mountains or you will be destroyed." But Lot said to one of them, "Sir, please don't force me to go so far. You have been merciful and kind to me and have saved my life, but I can't run to the mountains. The disaster will catch me and I will die. Look, that little town over there is not too far away. Let me run there. It's really just a little town. I'll be safe there." The angel said to Lot, "Very well. I will allow you to do this also. I will not destroy that town, but run fast there, because I cannot destroy Sodom until you are safely in that town." The town is named Zor, because it's little. Chapter 19, verse 23. Sodom and Gomorrah are destroyed. The sun had already come up when Lot entered Zorah. The Lord sent a rain of burning sulfur down from the sky on Sodom and Gomorrah and destroyed these cities. He also destroyed the whole Jordan Valley, everyone living in the cities, and even all the plants. At that point, Lot's wife looked back. When she did, she became a pillar of salt. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and went to the place where he had stood before the Lord. He looked down towards Sodom and Gomorrah and all of the Jordan Valley and saw smoke rising from the land, like smoke from a furnace. God destroyed the cities in the valley, but he remembered what Abraham had asked. So God saved Lot's life, but he destroyed the city where Lot had lived. Okay, so that ends on Genesis 19, chapter 29. Okay, so you guys can go back and read some of those if you would like. So I wrote some notes here, but my toddler scribbled all over them, so work with me. Okay, so piggybacking off of what I was saying in my first breakup for breakthrough video. Sometimes God removes people, places, things, old habits, ways, mindsets, like the list goes on, to better us, to get us to walk on His path, to be inside His will, to answer our prayers. Sometimes we pray for things and we don't know, what God has planned. So we could be praying for things, but the answer to that thing could mean, oh, you can't hang here anymore. Oh, these people aren't going on the journey with you. Oh, you have to give up this, you have to give up that. Sometimes that job where you're making all this money, but it's not your purpose. We have to be willing to let things go. Stop giving God so much pushback. Stop fighting. Stop looking back. Stop turning around. Stop fighting where God is trying to place us and what we're praying about and what's His will for our lives in general. So I wanted to bring up the fact that Lot's wife looked back, because at the end of the day, that's saying to me, and I'm pretty sure, about the verse itself, but to me and what I'm getting from it and what God's downloading to me is that she's choosing to want to hold on to that life. Whether she was mixed up in all that sin that was going on in that city, and you guys have to read that, go back and read that. There was a lot of just sin, a lot of homosexuality, a lot of just craziness to where God looked down and was like, man, this is not what I created my people for. This is too much. You guys are doing too much. And the verses right before I started was some men knocking on Lot's door, trying to come in there and rape the angels. But I didn't want to read that part. So if you guys back it up a little bit, go read that part for yourselves, guys. Um, but yes, okay. So the angels literally told them, do not look back, run, get out of the way. I'm going to destroy this, and God chose to have grace over Lot and his family. But the wife, after they was running, trying to get to the little spot where Lot was going because he couldn't run too far. So although Lot couldn't run too far, he wasn't disobedient. He didn't say, I can't go, period. I'm not going. I don't want to do this. He just said, hey, you know, I'm pretty much old. I'm not too fast. Can I please go here? So, sometimes we can do that. We can, hey, God, I feel this, I feel that. Have a conversation with Him, but don't just outright be disobedient. Um, yeah, she looked back, which to me signifies she's trying to hang on to the old lifestyle, hang on to the ways. She thinks she's missing out on something. She thinks she's going to be missing on something that's getting left behind. Um, Maybe she was scared. Maybe she was worried about having to go. Maybe about having a new life, a new journey. Maybe about the unknown. Sorry, I keep looking around, looking at my toddler. um, about the unknown of what's to come. We don't know what God has in store for us. We don't know the plans that He has next for us unless He confirms that with us. So maybe she just felt like, why are we blindly trusting this? Like, this is our lives, this is our home. And she looked back and, she got turned into a pillar of salt. But in today's times, it's like when God's saying, let go of that friendship, let go of that relationship, Let go of that job. Let go of that city or state that you're living in. Let go, let's just say a toxic relationship, for instance. Um, yeah, let's just use relationship for instance. What happens 9 times out of 10 when you know that person is not the one for you? You know that's not who God has for you. You know you deserve better. You know you shouldn't be getting treated in that way, in that manner. But for some reason, you're still connected. You love this person. You're still caught up in the soul tie. You know, if you're sleeping with this person and you go back, what happens 9 times out of 10? Everything's good for a second, whether they're pretending, whether they're fronting, whether they're really trying, but it's good for a second. And then things continue to get worse and worse and worse. Getting your heart broke, getting played, um, the list can go on. I don't need to break that down. Everybody knows about that. But so it's pretty much, we have free will. So when those things happen, to me, that's like God saying, hey, I warned you. I gave you direction. I gave you instruction for you to go this way, to not look back, to keep going, to trust me, to listen, to be obedient. But you chose to look back, to turn around, to go back to your old ways, to go back to your old lifestyle, to go back to that person, to go back to your comfort zone, to go back to your sin. So, with that free will, things happen. Things happen. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes well, God's always there. He's always with us. But certain things can happen to where we feel like we're no longer under his covering. We feel like we messed up so bad that God's not there for us. So then you keep going deeper and deeper into your sin because you feel like, oh, I messed up so bad. God's not going to forgive me, or God's not with me, or, he doesn't love me. But that's not true. And I'm not saying to go sin on purpose by any means necessary. What I'm saying is there's nothing that you can do where if you truly are repentant, you truly turn to God, he'll be there with open arms. He'll be there with you in the storm. He never leaves us or forsakes us. He'll be there with you. Talk to him, have a conversation with him, invite him in to change your life. We got to stop going back to things God's pulling us away from. And sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's easy. But at the end of the day, if God is nudging at your heart and telling you, hey, I don't care if you've known that friend for 15, 20, 30 years plus, if they're not meant to be with you on your journey, God's will for your life, for your purpose, are you going to choose that friendship or are you going to choose where God's trying to take you? Really think about that. We're not supposed to have any idols. God's first. I have two boys. One's 11, one's 3. He really has a passion for basketball. And we just found out he's really good at photography. But this is what I always tell him because sometimes he gets a little too wrapped up in basketball and LaMelo Ball. That's his favorite. But I always tell him God first, education second. No, no, no. Hold on now. Even education is important. But no, I messed it up. God first, family second, education/sports, or education/slash basketball. Well, I don't know why I can't talk right now. But okay. But yeah, I tell him that all the time. God first, family second, education, then basketball. Sometimes he gets so caught up in, oh, I want to go to the NBA. I want to go to the NBA. Oh, I want to watch LaMelo Ball. Oh, I want this LaMelo Ball this. Oh, I got to watch the LaMelo Ball video that. And I'm like, chill a little bit with that. You don't want to make LaMelo Ball an idol, um, or anything or anybody, period. I'm just using that as an example. Um, okay, guys. I feel like I'm all over the place, but bear with me. I'm gonna make a point. Um, so pretty much, we gotta stop choosing. I'm looking at my notes. We gotta stop choosing a worldly lifestyle, a sinful lifestyle, over salvation, over God's direction, over God's way. Like if you're truly trying to be submissive to God, truly trying to change your life around, truly trying to live and work for the kingdom, no matter if it's like this, doing videos, no matter if you're writing books, no matter if you're just talking to your family, talking to strangers, no matter if you're, no matter what you're doing, if you're doing it for the kingdom, choose to live right and righteously. Righteously. It's like I said, we're all gonna make mistakes, we're all gonna mess up, we're all gonna fall short. But don't continue to live in that sin. Don't continue to play games and repeat the same sins over and over and over and think it's okay. Let me look at my notes, guys. Okay, so some of my examples, this is part two of break up for breakthrough. Losing some friends. I already told you guys, me and my best friend of I don't know how many years, we're not friends anymore. And I don't know if that's permanent or if that's just something God has me on right now and He'll bring us back together if He wants to bring us together. But at the end of the day, I chose to listen to God and let that friendship go. We've been friends since maybe like the 10th grade or so, and like super, super best friends in like our 20s, raising our kids together, everything. Um, and now I'm about to be 36 in July, so we've been friends a really, really long time. We used to call each other like soul sister and everything. But since I've been on my journey to get closer to God, I've been letting certain things go, letting certain ways go, letting certain mindsets go. And like I said, she's not a bad person. We just wasn't on the same journey. And that's okay sometimes too. But in this particular journey, I felt like the longer I would hang around, I'd be at risk of getting comfortable, at risk of slipping back into some of my old ways, at risk of being tempted to go back in some of my old ways, at risk of just being comfortable or being stuck or being distracted. But then, literally, like I said, God placed it in my heart to have a desire to no longer desire that friendship, to no longer hold on to that friendship, to no longer depend on that friendship. You know what I'm saying? And I prayed on it. Like a lot of the times I'll do that prayer where I'm like, God, remove anybody from my life that's no longer supposed to be here, that no longer serves me, that's not going on my journey where you want me to go, that's not meant to be in my plan or my purpose right now. Remove anybody, whether it's a friendship, whether it's somebody who likes me romantically, um, anybody. You know what I'm saying? And I prayed on that. A couple of things happened. We pretty much lost communication, which is weird for us. We usually talk every single day, usually hanging out every single weekend. But the more I was praying that prayer, I didn't specifically think that she was going to be one of the people. But some things happened to where we lost communication. Some other things happened. Some things got revealed to me. And I literally started having this little feeling to where I didn't desire the friendship. I didn't desire to call her up and be like, hey, what's going on with this? Or, hey, I feel this way. Or she didn't hit me up either. And that's weird, you know? Um, but yeah, I don't want to get too much into that because it's not about her. Like I said, she's not a bad person. I'm just giving you guys an example of when God is doing that and an example of being obedient because that's what I did. And another example, I had a friend from junior high, a male friend. And sometimes over the years, you know, we'd be a little more than friends. I'm not gonna get into the details. Just like every now and then, or you know, if he didn't have a relationship, I didn't have a relationship. Back when I still was doing some things, because right now, you know, I'm not doing those things, and I'm waiting till marriage. And I did slip up here and there, but not all the way, if that makes sense. It still counts. So you know, I repented, turned away from my ways, and I haven't messed up since, or whatever. Because whether you're doing it fully or whether you're doing a little this and that, it still counts. Still fornication. So if you're really serious about getting back on that journey, just remove all temptations, remove yourself from certain situations, remove yourself from people, you know, just pray that prayer and you'll start seeing people dropping like flies. um, so God removed this particular person when I was considering, they just revealed to me not too long ago that they were thinking about something more with me. After all these years, never said nothing. We was always cool. Say it in. We was always cool, whatever. But he started looking at me in a different light. But I started looking at him to be like, well, you've been praying for a godly man. You've been praying for this. You've been praying for that. You've been praying for this type of person. You've been working on yourself to change this, change X, Y, and Z, to leave certain things behind. And so, I started praying on it for confirmation to be like, Lord, could this be the person? Even though I felt like they didn't meet certain of the godly criteria. And I'm not about to change anybody. It's like you're either going to be on your journey, God's tugging at your heart to start your journey and to change you, or, it's just not your time yet. And so I'm not going to make somebody be on the journey. I'm not going to make somebody fit the criteria to be my future husband. You know what I'm saying? And I think another reason why God removed him is because every now and then I would start to think wrongly, to tell you the truth. I would start to think, well, maybe if we hang out and if something happens, it won't be too bad. Or, you know, maybe if, and I started to get a little lustful in my thoughts. Because it's been like, let's say maybe like over 2 years since I all the way. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I started to get a little lustful in my thoughts. And then I started to think, well, maybe we could just try this relationship thing out. So, I had like no confirmation from God, no nothing. So I started to lean on my own understanding and just let my own thoughts, run wild and whatever the case may be. And so I think the time I was gonna tell them how I was feeling, thinking like, okay, well maybe we could try it or do what I ain't supposed to do and maybe tell them like, hey, I've been kind of feeling like I wanna do X, Y, and Z. No, good and well. I said I was gonna wait till marriage, but I'm over here thinking these thoughts. And God put a stop to that. I pretty much hit them up. They said they were busy and was gonna hit me back. Keep in mind, this person always hits me back. He always would want to hang out, would want to take me somewhere, would want to talk, share some experiences, whatever. He knows I'm on this journey trying to wait till marriage. So when I told him, like, literally, like, hey, we can't do this anymore. If you want to hang out, we don't need all this time. So if you want to hang out, we can hang out. He knows I'm not having sex anymore until marriage. And we hung out a few times, didn't cross the line, didn't do anything. But at this particular time, I was thinking about crossing the line, my flesh. And I'm glad I didn't, and I'm glad God put a stop to it. Because I would have felt so bad, so guilty. It would have crushed me, to tell you the truth. But yeah, so he's like, oh, I'm busy, this and that, I'm going to hit you up, you know. Never heard back from him. And that is not like him at all. I don't know how long that's been now. It just happened not too long ago, but never heard back from him. So I'm being obedient. I didn't hit him back. I didn't say, well, hey, you didn't hit me up since that one night, or what's going on, or what's this, or what's that, or what. No. God shut it down like Bianca. He was having these impure thoughts. He was trying to go back to some stuff that you promised me that you weren't going to do. And, whatever. So I really feel like God removed that one. So once again, like I'm going to say, guys, don't look back. Don't turn back. Don't try to go back. Zayden, you're pulling on me, Zay. You so. Uh-oh, get down. Oh my God. Get down. Get down. What you want? What you want? What you want? ABC? What you want? What you want? Okay, this one? This one? Pure Souls? Okay. It better not have no cursings in it. This better not be the one version with cursing. Ah, careful, Sadie, careful! Careful! Careful. She was born and tripped over the lamp. Okay. Alright, guys. I feel like I'm bouncing all over the place with this one. Let me see. Oh, one more. So I had a situation which I'm not going to go into detail about because part of it involves kids. But this is another relationship that God took out of my life. And one second, guys. And I'll say that He forced it out of my life. And the only reason I say that is because this one probably wouldn't have ended on its own. Like, I didn't do anything wrong to them. They didn't do anything wrong to me. Um, we were just gonna go on, like, being like friends, even though we're more like family. Um, so basically, they came to me and told me like, hey, XYZ happened a couple years ago. And although you didn't do this and you didn't do that, we can't be cool anymore. I have to think of such and such the situation. And I prayed on it, on the part that has to do with my side of the family. I prayed on it, asked God for confirmation, asked God to reveal some things to me. Nothing was revealed to me of what they said. Um, I felt in my heart that it wasn't, what they said. And just moved on. I did tell them, hey, if that really happened, if that really took place, my apologies. Um, those kind of things. But at the end of the day, I feel a peace. I feel a peace that it might have not been what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I can't go into details about that. But I will say, I feel like God brought up that situation to literally be like, this has to go as well. And it had to be in a drastic way. Sorry, guys, I keep shaking the table. It had to be in such a drastic way because it otherwise wasn't gonna end. So those are three examples of God removing people from my life. I haven't looked back since that happened. Unlike, Lot's wife, and you see what happened to her. But I will say, um, I still have one person that I consider a friend. What is it? And what do you want? Let me see. Wait. Wait.
Tails, mommy.
Wait, which one? Okay. Go ask Nick, say. I'm about to put him in the bed. Okay, so I have one person that I still consider a friend. Her name is Ebony, but she moved to Texas. But it's one of those friendships where that's more like a sisterhood. So when I say I don't have any friends, I'm not talking about her. Because I consider her more like a sister. Um, and it's one of those things like even if we don't talk every week, every month, when we do talk, it's nothing but encouraging words. It's nothing about talk about God. It's about, hey sis, I'm proud of you. It's about, hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Encouraging words. And motivation, and all those good things. And before I forget, actually, I'm looking at it on the TV. You guys check out her page, Diva Spot Lounge, and you can also check out my interview she did of me. That's my first interview, so you guys can get like a little bit of a better glimpse of who I am and a part of the journey that I'm on right now. You guys can go get her subscribes up, her likes up, check out other of her videos. She has a lot of different men and women on there from all different kind of walks of lives and journeys. And you guys can learn some vital information and just support her channel. But yes, be sure to check out that. It's Happy New Year live interview with me, Bianca Domain. So be sure to check that out. Um, but okay, so yeah. So when I say I don't have any friends, I'm not talking about her. So now let's get back to it. Um, I literally don't have any friends. God removed that best friend out of my life. He removed that male friend. He removed my other best friend about 3 years ago, and I've known her since fourth grade. And some stuff just went down with that, and God was like, mm-mm. So literally, I don't have anybody besides family in my state to hang with, to chit chat with, to have like girls' time, to have brunch, to just be like, hey sis, you want to meet up and chit chat and talk. Hey sis, you want to get the kids together? You want to do this, that. I have nobody. Um, yes. He put on the happy birthday Bianca, which is my name. Um, but yeah, so I feel like God has me back in like a wilderness season, and I'm okay with that because although I'm losing friends and guys who I know is not supposed to be my husband and those things, although I'm single, I'm not married, I'm not dating, I'm okay with it. I come to a place where I'm content and I submit it to God and I'm letting God move. I'm trying my best not to interrupt, not to interfere, not to complain. Um, and I have to say though, ever since I surrendered, like fully surrendered in September, um, wait, let me back it up. So I've been surrendered on the waiting till marriage thing. But as far as everything else, as far as like not worrying about money and jobs and what's my next move and hey Lord, I'm still unmarried and hey, I'm this age and I'm at a place of starting all over and got this and that going on and I don't have this and that, but still being grateful, still being, God's working. So as far as all those things, I fully surrendered to September. And I have to say, when you're fully surrendered, when you're fully trusting God to work everything out, to, set the path for you, and you don't know when or how things are going to work out, but that's what faith is. You don't know if you're going to get that job. You don't know if he's going to have you move to another city or state. You don't know if you're going to meet your spouse tomorrow, next month, 3 years from now. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? But you have to trust and believe God has plans for you, you know, and just how I trust and believe. But I will say, when it's around my woman's time, cycle, all that bad stuff, um, that's when I find myself, with all the hormones and everything, that I do get a little more emotional. And I do, thank you, that I do get a little more like, oh my gosh, my life is this, my life is that. That I do get a little more almost stressed or worried. Thank you. Thank you, Zay. But I had to catch myself. I'm like, you can't be trusting God and believing God all the rest of the month. Sorry, he's shaking the table. But then, like, when that time comes, or a week before that time comes, it's like, oh, my life is this. Oh, my life is that. Oh, help me. Oh, crying and, whatever. So I had to check myself, like, like, you said you were trusting. You said you were believing. You said you're putting in his hands. So no matter if your hormones are all out of whack, and all that stuff. Keep trusting, keep believing, keep doing your part, keep having faith. You know. So I feel like this video was kind of all over, but I felt like I needed to, say everything I need to say. So at the end of the day, the moral of this Bible study, this girl chat, this chit chat, whatever you want to call it, is don't look back when God's removing you from people, places, things, situations. Have faith, keep moving forward, do your part, pray through it, and just know you're not missing nothing, you know? I know it might be hard, I know it might be hurtful, might be whatever, but God doesn't have plans to harm us. He doesn't have plans to take people, places, and things away and not give us better, not give us what we need, not give us what we're asking for, not giving what we're praying for, and sometimes it's yes, you can have it. Sometimes it's not right now, and sometimes it's a no, because he knows things, he sees things that we can't. Sometimes things aren't good for us that we want. So at the end of the day, you guys, stop going back, stop looking back, turn away from the sin, whatever it is that you're struggling with. Pray on it, fast about it. And I love you guys, and hope this video wasn't too all over the place. But this has been Diving with Divine Diamond, YouTube edition. I will talk to you guys later. And be sure to go to the podcast as well on Spotify, because sometimes I have different, most times I have different subjects and topics on there. But subscribe, like, share, do all that good stuff, and bear with me, guys. I'm new to this.